Yes, sir.
What type of injuries have you had in your 10+ year career? What type of injuries do you see, traveling?
Me personally, I've been pretty lucky. I've had a broken leg that didn't require surgery, and then I've dislocated my hip. But other than that, I've been lucky. I've just had those two major injuries, and but with like just on the road, like going to all the races, you see so much stuff from broken backs to broken necks to pretty much every bone in your body can be broke, I guess, or whatever from racing and stuff like that.
I paused this slide. I haven't been as lucky as you. I haven't gotten hurt on the bike. I haven't been that lucky throughout the course of my tenure. Neck brace, and these are, what is it hooked onto besides?
There's straps right under my jersey, and see the little hooks coming off the side of it? Yeah, right there. Yeah. There's little like elastic straps that run like under my armpits and then across and then hold it down. But neck braces, they're just rider preference. A lot of riders don't like to wear it because then it messes with your head and like don't let you be able to like move your head around as much. Like me, I don't wear one anymore. I don't really know why. I just feel like I have more movement when I don't wear it. But some riders can't ride without them. They just feel like they're naked without it. But that's just rider preference, I guess. And then it helps, like say when you go back and then like forward, and then it has a little bar that comes down the back to support it as well.
So it's kind of like with our cowboy collars, one of the things that we're putting up to eliminate some of that. We want to be able to go back, not so much down with football, because when you get hit and the curvature is out of your neck, that's when the force is transmitted down and we break vertebrae. Well, they don't really have, they really can't train for that. With football players, we can tell them, to hit with your head up. When you get off the bike, what do they do when they wreck? Make sure your head's up. I mean, what safety issues or whatever do you have if you have a bad wreck? What are you trying to do?
Mainly just get away from your motorcycle because it always tends to want to follow you. But when it's always happening so quick, you can't really have time to think about, let me do this or let me do that. It just happens for the most part.
And when y'all are riding, what speeds do you typically ride if it's like on a fast stretch?
On the motocross track, depending on the track, we can get up to 60, mainly no more than 60 miles per hour, but average around say a motocross track is like 35, 40 miles per hour, depending on how tight some of the turns are on the track and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we can talk about that a little bit too with positioning on the bike. See, here's the back of the seat, here's the front of the seat. If he sits back here when he's going around the corner, what happens?
The bike wants you have no control over the front end, and it just wants to keep pushing and going straight because there's no way on the front end to turn it or for it to get through the rut.
So you have to wait for the front end so it'll actually steer. And then, of course, boots. And y'all can come up and look at this equipment too. But the boots themselves are, this equipment's very expensive for someone that's just a weekend rider. To get a helmet, and what kind of helmet is that?
That's a ride right there.
What do you ride with now?
I wear Scott helmets now. Scott from like gear and everything, and Alpine Star boots and EVSD braces.
So your helmet itself is what's the outside of it?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I think fiberglass.
It's some kind of composite material that's really hard, of course, and really strong. And this is I don't know how much it weighs, but it's a very lightweight helmet, I can tell you. This is the helmet that I ride with. Pass them around and look at the weight differences. Now, this is about probably $125 helmet, $150 helmet. That Scott helmet's going to be a real top end, maybe $600–800.
The Scott ones are actually like $350 to $450.
Those helmets, if you have a wreck, what do you do with your helmet?
Depending on the wreck, or if you get a concussion or whatnot. If you get a concussion, 9 out of 10 times you get rid of the helmet and get a new helmet.
So if you actually have to use the helmet once, it's gone. And that's why some of the design differences between those motocross or motorcycle helmets and the football helmets. It's a completely different design for that reason. It's basically a one-time use. And the inside of it, the components inside of it, yours is probably what we consider a dual or even a triple density. So the inside layer is have a removable liner that helps the helmet fit on your head. And then up under that liner, there's a more firm layer and then an even more firm layer. So the densities of those things are different.
Well, we call it a 353, which is like a 3 foot tall hump with like a 5 foot tall one, and then another 3 foot tall one. And it comes right out of a right-hander, and I was going to try to like go all the way from the first one to the third one, and it had a rut in it. When I went to like seat balance it to get the lift over the middle one, when it did, it threw my hand off the bar from the rut dragging the foot pegs, so it just threw all my weight to the front. And when it did, it just threw my hand off the bar, so I couldn't like panic rev it to bring the front end up. So when it did, it just clipped the third one and just went all happened from there.
Did they put it back in place there?
No, I had to go to the hospital and they had to put me to sleep.
Yeah, because think about.
Do what?
You having troubles with it like that?
It's a little sore every now and then, but nothing major.
And another issue is, you know, when we have football players, when we get equipment off, when they get hurt, shoulder pads, helmet, our spinal alignment is there, we don't take the helmet off. Can we cut this face mask off? Has he got shoulder pads on? So does he need to have his helmet on? Absolutely not. What if he goes into cardiac arrest on the way to the hospital? You can't deliver oxygen to him. So what is tell a little bit about the device when y'all.
They do make us actually run a device called the eject system. It's it's like a little airbag, probably a 2x2 little airbag that it velcros under your helmet pads and has a tube that runs out back to the right corner of your helmet. And then actually I don't have one in this helmet right now, but at the races they'll make you wear that, and then say if you crash whatever and they have to take your helmet off, they have a pump and they can unscrew the cap and pump it up, and it just lifts the helmet off your head. That way they don't have to pull on your neck or nothing like that.
So yeah, again, you know, very different than what we deal with. Because with face masks, we have plastic clips. We just clip the clips and pull the face mask up. And again, if you have shoulder pads and a helmet on, if you don't have shoulder pads on, your helmet's here. So we don't want to take the shoulder pads off and change the way your neck is positioned.
Some helmets do have a little tab where they have like a quick disconnect or whatever you want to call it, cheek pads, that you can just pull, and then the cheek pads just pull straight out.
Pull out.
That way the helmet's loose and you can just slide it off if you don't have the eject system in your helmet.
So yeah, there's a lot of safety issues with that too. And did y'all feel the inside of the helmet? Do you mind putting that on?
Yeah.
Just I want y'all to come up here and see how this fits when he puts it on.
It's supposed to fit a little snug, that way it doesn't wiggle around so much. And then, because if it's wiggle around too much, then if you crash, then it's going to have slack in the helmet, be able to move around and give you more
you'll have problems.
head injuries than you would.
We want it to be as stable as possible. Now, when we fit football helmets, and if it's all right, I'll let them look at this. We want to hold the face mask, and we'll move it up and down and side to side and see how much it moves. So y'all come look at this and see how much this moves compared to our football helmets. Y'all come.
Don't just go, don't bite.
Yeah, don't hurt him though. You got to raise him walk.
I just want to see the back.
It covers the occiput, but it's also up high because it has to allow for those neck braces.
Neck braces.
So it's.
Do you have one of the neck? Do you have the neck brace here?
I do not have one with me.
I mean, that's. I mean, you can see it there. It's
Oh, I've seen them.
it clicks on side to side. So it'll undo and it'll click right back on. You put it on you, and it sits on your shoulders and your collarbones. So that was another issue. I was wondering if you have the head injuries or you have a bad get off and the helmet actually hits your neck brace, would it break your collarbones?
They do say that with the neck brace, and you're more likely to get a broken collarbone. But the thing behind that is Would you rather have a broke
Collarbone
collarbone
or a broken neck.
But I think it just depends on, everything happens for a reason, so it depends on the crash and how you land. And because there's been kids that have crashed with those and still broke their necks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So do you feel like that, like, I don't know, the committee or like, do you feel like motocross is going to turn into where everybody has to wear a neck brace?
I don't think so, because most of the top guys don't wear one. It's just rider preference, and then most top guys just do a lot of things just for money. Yeah, with the knee braces, it's rider preference whether they want to wear one or not. The AMA does not make us wear them, but me personally, I can't really ride without one. It's just how I feel comfortable in it. The knee brace is meant so for like side to side movement that you can't, like, your knee can't go side to side, and then like you can't tear your ACL from side to side, and then it has like, when it bends like all the way, like hyperextends, then it has a breakaway release to where if you do have to hyperextend your knee or whatever, then it can break away and then not really break your femur or nothing too bad, stuff like that. But the knee brace is rider preference, and a lot of riders do just wear like just normal knee pads that just cover the knee and shin.